So anyway, it's wintertime, and so there's nothing but locals there. We had a couple of local kids there that, one local guy, and he had a buddy of his from Hawaii. And Mark the electrician came in, and they got into an argument about sport fishing in Alaska versus Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, Mark got all bent out of shape, and he tore out of the bar. Now it's like midnight, and my dad's there tending bar. He was one of the partners in the lodge. And they got hungry, so he said, well, cafe's closed, but I'll go and make you a sandwich. So while he's in making the sandwich, Mark comes rolling back into the parking lot, jumps out, walks through the door of the bar, pulls a .44 Magnum, says, which one of you motherfuckers want to die first?
We're live.
We are live today on another episode of A Kickass Love Story, and we have a very special guest.
Yeah, we're going to have to tone down the sex talk a little bit because we are graced today by the man who provided the semen in which I crawled out of and became who I am today, my dad.
I hate that. I hate the way you said
The keeper of the nuts that provided the stuff that birthed me.
And I'm really sorry.
Provided a good one.
Yeah. No, but all jokes aside, my dad is here today.
Mm-hmm.
He came to visit. He is living in Oregon now, and if you have been lucky enough, you may have taken an Uber ride from him.
I have that written down if we want to get into that first.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's let him introduce himself.
Well, unfortunately, I'm Austin's dad, but it all worked out well because I got a great daughter-in-law.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. No, but we talk about him quite a bit. Vietnam vet, badass. Yeah.
Who's more badass though, you or your father?
My father.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I don't know that I could go and could have done some of the stuff he did, but yeah. So we are very thankful for that. But
so I wanted to go back. He's an Uber driver in Oregon.
Yes.
We've talked about some of your antics and pranks. Yeah. We've never gotten it from his point of view.
Yeah.
So Austin will call you and knows that you're driving for Uber and have a passenger, and he will say some very inappropriate things on the speakerphone in front of your passengers.
Yeah.
I don't answer the phone anymore when I see that it's him calling. I just hit the go away button.
We did wonder why you kept answering the phone.
Yeah. To be honest, Dad, I don't even really plan any of them. It's just the times that you do answer and he'll usually start off, all right, Austin, I got a passenger, so be nice. And then I'll
and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, it just cues you up.
So then I'll say, and I am apologizing for anyone I offend right now before I say this, because I mean no offense, but I like to create an uncomfortable position for him and his riders. So if I hear him say, oh, be nice, Austin, I got a passenger, I'll say, oh, all right, Dad, sounds good. I was just calling to let you know I got my transition surgery tomorrow. And usually I can hear the passenger giggle a little bit.
Or you say that your dad left his hemorrhoid cream at our house.
Yeah. Oh, Dad,
I got a package today.
Yeah, what is it, Dad?
Must have been misdelivered. It's your hemorrhoid cream. Yeah. I don't know what happened to him. I think his mother dropped him on his head a few too many times when he was younger. But
yeah. Well,
Okay, well, let's get to know Austin a little bit more from your
Yes.
dad's point of view. I have a few questions.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Oh, great.
They're easy, but I think they're going to be good stories. People can get to know you as a child.
Okay.
What, in your opinion, as a child, is the worst thing that Austin ever did as a kid?
Aside from being born,
Yeah.
well, let's see. You know, he was actually surprisingly a fairly good kid. His sister, on the other hand,
Was the handful, right?
yeah, I figured she'd be in the penitentiary by now, but she turned out great.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
She did.
Yeah. Okay, so consensus, I was a good boy.
He was a fairly good boy. I only had to kick his ass a few times.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's the worst thing well, the worst thing I did, I guess, when he was a kid, and I'm still trying to live that down, when he was 14 years old, his mother and I had already separated, but I took him to a friend's house and got him a tattoo.
Yeah. Yes.
14.
This is true. Yes, I.
Yeah, and I cut a little bit of crap for that one.
Yep, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, did
But-
you think that Austin would become a fighter, or what career did you think that he would have?
I honestly figured I'd probably have to support him for the rest of his life.
Hey, and what do you,
You
know?
know-
And now I just found somebody else to.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Thank you, Paige.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, in 2008, Austin got a wrestling scholarship to SOU in Oregon. So he went to school. That was great. He graduated in 13. And when he graduated, he told me, well, Dad, I'm going to be a professional MMA fighter. And I said, great. I said, I guess you wasted all your time and energy on an education. Now I'm probably going to have to support you for the rest of your life because I don't think those guys make much money. So, we were talking, it's been a couple of years back now, and he said, Dad, I remember what you told me. And he said, my first fight, my first professional fight, I made $800. And I thought you were right. He said, well, look at me now. And I said, yeah, well, I guess I gotta eat my words, but realistically, I think it's your wife that did the whole thing.
Well, you and a lot of the rest of the people too. So.
Yeah, glad to know you, Mr. Van Zandt.
No.
Okay, you did fight though as a kid. You fought
Yes.
in your dad's bar.
Yeah, so my dad, which we've talked about in the past, the reason we moved to Ninilchik, Alaska, was you had bought the Inlet View where you and partners and stuff, and so I grew up in a bar basically, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
for lack of better words, and I remember being a kid and a few specific people, but. He got me into wrestling really young, and he was always wanting to test me or probably entertain himself. And, he would make bets with drunk guys at the bar that, well, my 12-year-old son could kick your ass, or 13, however old I was. And he was he and my head wrestling coach, they were the coaches. He would take us on all the trips, so he had access to the gym, and he would get these young guys say, yeah, I bet you the rest of the night free drinks if you can take my son down or something, and we would go up there and yeah.
So, okay, we had this guy, Roadkill.
Yeah, fittingly.
That's his name.
R.I.P.
Yeah, Roadkill was a character.
Yeah.
He was a carpenter when he was sober, which wasn't very often. But anyway, he's always talking about his carpenter strength. And talking about the kid, and stuff like that. So I think Austin was 12 or 13 years old. And Roadkill said, well, yeah. I said, I can whip him. I said, well, let's see. So I said, let's go on down to the gym. And I had access to the gym and the mat room, and we got down there. All the way down, Roadkill is bragging about how, yeah, I'll pin him in 10 seconds. Well, it turns out that Roadkill got pinned in 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, you got to silence. There you go.
And anyway, came back, just absolutely humiliated. Got so drunk he fell off the bar stool.
Yeah.
And that was the last we ever heard about the carpenter story.
Yeah, we there was definitely some funny situations, growing up in the bar and whatnot. But yeah, so
Okay, you had some relationship questions for your father yesterday.
Oh,
This is a Kick-Ass Love Story.
yes, this is. So we got to incorporate a
Yes.
little bit. So, Dad, as someone who's been married twice,
4 times.
okay, 4. What advice would you give me or Paige to I guess what marital advice would
Yeah.
you give? Yeah.
For God's sake, don't do it.
No.
No, actually, I'm very proud of your relationship with Paige. It's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
You always go through some hard times, but you got to weather them out.
Yeah.
I wasn't too good at that. So, but now I'm old and decrepit, and I can't chase him anymore. So I guess I'm going to stay married this time.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That is a good point.
No, but yeah, just joking around this one. But yeah, no, I think I mean, we obviously.
Is that Robin?
It's Natalie.
Oh, it's Natalie.
Oh, the sister. This is definitely his first podcast.
Definitely.
It is.
So he doesn't.
I don't know how to turn this thing off.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I have questions about Ireland.
Okay. Oh. Yes.
Okay.
So, since moving to Oregon, you moved to Oregon from Alaska to watch Austin's wrestling career. We've then been able to travel with you guys, go to Ireland, Israel, travel the world to watch you fight.
Yeah.
What's your favorite memory of a fight camp or a fight week with Austin?
Actually, it was one of his first, and he was cutting weight. So I think he was trying to go down to 170.
Yeah.
And so,
I think it was my first one, which me going down to 170 at that time, that was the first time I had weighed, well, the first time I was gonna weigh that little since like my freshman year of college, because in college I ended up wrestling at 184, and I had wrestled at 165 my freshman year, but so I hadn't been down to 170 in 5 years or something. So yeah, go ahead, Dad.
So anyway, I'm going through the whole routine with him, right on down to sitting in the sauna with him and sweating my ass off.
Yeah.
Well, we get out, and of course he's cutting weight, so he's not eating, and he looks horrible. He looks like death walking. So that's okay. So we go to the weigh-ins. He gets weighed in, and he made weight, thank God, because after all that.
Yes.
But anyway, so we're driving back to the hotel from the weigh-ins. Excuse me. And he is absolutely in tears. Wants to eat. So I think we went out and had a big dinner, and he puked.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep.
Probably got a little diarrhea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, trying to cut. So speaking of diarrhea and fight memories, Ireland was fun.
We don't want to go there.
So, what year was that? That must have been,
Gosh, that was a few years ago now.
yeah, a couple years ago. But yeah, when I fought in Ireland and
Right.
we brought the whole family out and in Ireland, you do a lot of walking
Yes, you do.
around, right?
Uh-huh.
So we were staying fairly central, or no, we had to take that little train to
Yeah.
get downtown. And
Yeah.
once we got downtown, we did a bit of walking, but
Walking and drinking.
Yes.
A lot of walking and a lot
A
of
lot of
drinking.
drinking.
Is that what you're going to blame it on?
Couldn't have been anything else.
So we were having a nice dinner, I believe, right?
Yes.
It was,
Boxty.
yes. And it was I think the last dinner before
Yeah.
everyone was going to take off. And what? Anyways, he had a bit of an episode and so bad you had to throw your shoes away, right?
Yeah, I couldn't get back to the hotel fast enough. And anyway, it was a memorable experience.
Yes. But truly, okay, you had to pick one, Ireland or Israel. Which one was your favorite place to see?
I loved Israel. It surprised me. It wasn't like anything I expected. And I had a great time there. Great food.
Yeah.
Didn't shit my pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
And that was it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. No, the fortunate part of what we do and doing that, we get to travel around and take our family and do stuff like that. So
Yeah, we've been lucky to go to some really cool places, and hopefully we'll get to go travel again soon. We're still both kind of waiting on our
Yes.
next fights and lineups and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
we do enjoy to bring our family with us to
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, and it's always great. Well, get together, usually good food, good booze,
Yeah.
interesting experiences.
Yes.
Yes. Each one.
So
right?
owning a bar,
Yes.
Austin has told me stories of him as a childhood, in his childhood, drinking at a relatively young age. Now, do you think you influenced that a little bit from owning the bar? Or was Austin just kind of a troublemaker?
I never really knew about that till now.
No, yeah, go ahead, Dad.
No, it was.
It's just different in Alaska, right?
It is different in Alaska. It really is. I mean, kids could come into the bar with their parents. I think when we first got up there, if you went into a bar with your parents, you could drink in the bar.
When you first got
When
there.
I first got there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was a little young then. I think he was like 2 weeks old when we moved up there.
Yeah, because you moved from California to Alaska in 1990.
1989. Well, 1990 is when I moved up there full time.
Okay, you
but-
went before Mom, right? In 1989.
yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons that we ended up in Alaska was I'd been the director of operations for a chain of restaurants in California for 16 years. And I got tired of suits and ties and board meetings and found out that we were going to have Austin, and I really didn't want to bring him up in California.
Yeah.
So my neighbor was partners in this bar lodge in Alaska. I had a bar, cafe, and a dozen cabins, fishing guides. And he said, "Why don't you go up and take a look at it?" Because he knew I was looking to get out. And we went up, took a look, made an offer, and I quit my job in California and bought the bar in Alaska and never looked back.
Yeah.
4 times the work and a quarter of the pay, but I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, just thinking back and as far as like tasting alcohol for the first time or stuff like that, it was just different. Like I think I remember, I think the first beer I had, I think I was like 12.
His mother gave it to him.
Yeah.
This is part true. She did not give it to me, but I was in her presence because we were at Humpy Point, the fishing site, and yeah, it was kind of one of those things. I mean, I still snuck it. I wasn't openly drinking a beer or something. But speaking of doing things, I pissed my pants that night because I didn't realize, like, I think I ended up having like 4 or 5 beers
Wow.
and yeah. But I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily that the influence from growing up being around it. If anything, I think growing up at the bar and kind of seeing some of the people there almost like made me think like, maybe I shouldn't drink because I don't want to be like that guy sitting there, the rest of my life just drinking at a bar and, and
Falling out of a stool.
yeah, stuff like that. I always had aspirations to be an athlete. And when you're a really young kid or, my goal, I was like, oh, I'm going to play in the NFL or play in the NBA or something. And so, I always had dreams of being a professional athlete and yeah.
I will say go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was going to say his goals of playing in the NBA. He was, I think he was about 4'3" until he was a junior in high school.
Yes, I was small.
He was a very small kid, but he shot up pretty quick from his junior year on.
Yeah, now I'm an average
You're
size.
like an average size.
Yeah, I went from miniature to average.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I came from a non-drinking family.
Yes.
I know my dad did drink, but it was just kind of like, oh, that's what dad does.
Before you go, best Bloody Mary.
Oh, at the Inlet View in Alaska.
Yeah,
I compare
his
all Bloody Marys to the Inlet View.
Yeah.
That was my recipe.
Yep.
Just like
Ooh,
biscuits,
just like
and
the
gravy.
biscuits and gravy.
Just like biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, we have a family. We have biscuits and gravy every Sunday. Sorry for interrupting you, babe. We have biscuits and gravy every Sunday, and my mom claims that she's the one who created the recipe, but of course my dad.
And she's absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And she doesn't know how to make it right because she won't put chopped onions in it. You got to put chopped onions in your biscuits and gravy.
And that's the big debate: chopped onions or not.
And I taught her how to make biscuits and gravy.
Everybody makes very good biscuits and gravy in your family, and they all make good Bloody Marys.
Yes. So coming from a non-drinking
I came from
family.
a non-drinking family. My dad, it was just kind of like, oh, that's what dad does.
Yeah.
Dad drinks. That's what he does when he gets off work. So when meeting you, I got introduced to a drinking family.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Just casual, you can order drinks for brunch and you can drink to watch the game. It's like a family thing. It's not just for dad.
Yeah.
So, but it was still so new to me when we first got together. We flew to, I want to say, Iowa. It was that fight where you had a terrible haircut and you got
Nebraska.
Yeah. You got your face cut open pretty bad. That was one of our first fights together. Not our first, but one of.
Yeah.
And you won. And of course, cutting weight, you have to diet a lot. You cut out drinking. You were still going down to 170.
Yeah.
So afterwards, though, you guys decided to drink.
Yes.
Heavily.
I believe he was there for this fight too.
I was.
Yeah.
Okay. So alcohol gets passed around. The funniest, and you won't let me share the video, but it's most iconic video of you.
No, it'll never, and that video will never surface.
But I'm
unless
sober.
I get my hands on it.
Yeah.
So I'm sober and I'm filming you, and Ed Herman's there, so he's drunk too. Everybody's just drunk, and I had to get you into an Uber.
Owen Carr.
Owen Carr was there.
The Canadian.
Yes. I had to get you into a car at like 6 a.m. to get to the airport. We had an early flight, and somehow the whiskey went with us in the Uber, and the Uber driver was like, hey, you can't have open alcohol in here. And so you, Owen, and Ed Herman were like, oh, okay, let's finish it. So you all start chugging this bottle and finish it.
Yep.
Get to the airport, some shenanigans happens. Luckily, I get you on the plane. At our layover, I was so mad at you, though, because I had to go through so much to get you into the Uber and get you on the flight and get you through to it. Like, TSA was like, hey, are they going to be a problem?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they just need to settle down. They went through some exciting stuff. He won a fight last night. Then we get to our layover. At this point, I'm still so mad at you for all the shit you put me through to get you into the, and you messed up my Uber rating.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
you know, bummer. That will always be on there.
We're in the presence
Yes.
of a Uber legend right now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So then we're at the airport in our layover, and first thing you do is you go get a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
And so I sat you down right there. I was like, hey, I think you're an alcoholic. And I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that's an alcoholic. So
Yeah.
you need to stop drinking. You need to
Yes.
tell me now if you have an alcohol abuse problem.
How'd that
And
work out?
I think you cried, but I think you were still hammered.
Why am I crying so much in these stories? I sound like a pussy.
Anyways, but since then, obviously that was like 6 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
Who do you think drinks more out of the
Yeah. Now who's the morning Bloody Maryer?
all day? Me. I now
Yes.
appreciate the morning Bloody Mary.
A good Bloody Mary,
And
right?
I want one right now.
It's the breakfast of champions.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's funny to go from, you know, a family that didn't drink to one that's like it's socially acceptable
Yeah.
to then like how much I have changed in our marriage. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's positive or negative, but
Yeah, and I mean, thinking about it, even growing up, though, you weren't really. I mean, I can remember you coming home a few nights from the bar and stuff, but I mean, really, you didn't drink a ton around like us or stuff, even though, you know, owning a bar and stuff.
I didn't, and probably I had the bar for 20 years,
Yeah,
and about 12 years into it, I sat down, took a serious look at myself, said, you know, you're drinking too much, kid.
yeah,
So basically, from that time on, of course, owning the bar, everybody that comes in wants to buy you a drink.
yeah,
yes.
And they're offended if you don't take it.
yeah.
So I filled a bottle of Jack Daniels up with iced tea.
Nice.
Funny.
And people would come in and say, I want to buy you a drink. I said, okay. And I'd pour myself a little bit of Jack on the rocks.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually iced tea. Of course, I charged them for the Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Oh,
But no, I don't drink much since then.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like that's fairly common for bartenders to do that.
yeah, but and then also too, you would have like the beer distributors would get a new alcohol or something and want to bring it by, or you know.
Yeah, and
Have you tried it and stuff?
I would try it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I just I thought it wasn't a very good idea to be drunk behind the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in a lot. Although, well, I mean, we were just talking last night about the story about the gunfire and Grandpa beating the shit out of the guy with the diamond willow stick.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I was, but what I was gonna say is, you know, yeah, because in Alaska, like we said, it was just kind of different. And being in a small town, there wasn't, you know, in most bars, I think probably most all in the U.S., you can't bring firearms into a bar or whatever, but it probably happened a lot more.
It did. We actually had a policy that I would have people check their firearms when they came into the bar, because at least half the people, the local people, not so much the tourists, but the local people, all packed.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, we, you know, he was talking about that one incident where his grandpa came out and thumped the guy with the diamond willow stick, and that was kind of an interesting story.
Yeah.
You want me to tell that story?
Yeah, tell that story
Yep,
really
let's do
quick.
it.
Yeah, because this
Okay.
was, I think we mentioned this stick on the last podcast. It had blood marks, and I would bring it in for show and tell. So, as a kid.
So anyway, it's wintertime, and so there's nothing but locals there. We had a couple of local kids there that, one local guy, and he had a buddy of his from Hawaii. And Mark the electrician came in, and they got into an argument about sport fishing in Alaska versus Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, Mark got all bent out of shape, and he tore out of the bar. Now it's like midnight, and my dad's there tending bar. He was one of the partners in the lodge. And they got hungry, so he said, well, cafe's closed, but I'll go and make you a sandwich. So while he's sitting making the sandwich, Mark comes rolling back into the parking lot, jumps out, walks through the door of the bar, pulls a .44 Magnum, says, which one of you motherfuckers want to die first? Well, they had two choices. They could run for the other door or tackle him. They tackled him. He capped off 3 rounds in the bar, shot out a window, shot Butch, one of our entertainers' amplifiers, and blew the Coke line up. I get a call at midnight. My dad, he says, Mike, get down here right now. We've had a shooting. Click. He hangs up. So I think, oh, my God, I was just about ready to go to bed. I jump in my truck, drive down to the bar, walk in. There's gun smoke hanging in the bar. Looks like an Old West movie. And a guy laying in a pool of blood in the middle of the dance floor. And I think, oh, my God, he's dead. Well, it turns out it was the shooter. And my dad had come out from behind the bar with his diamond willow stick and clubbed the guy half to death. So, yeah, that was one of the more interesting nights we had up there.
Yeah.
There were a few.
And I still, and so I think either you had the stick or Grandpa gave it to me. And so as a kid, I was always proud of it because though I had never really heard the story, I always heard, oh, yeah, there's blood marks on it from where my grandpa hit a guy and, go to school with that. And yeah.
Well, I've still got the stick. We were talking about it last night. I'm going to send it down to him because I think he needs it to
ward off
here in the bar.
Yes.
Yeah, have it as like a bar memorabilia piece.
I'll have it as a weapon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That and
fuck somebody up with that.
That and your axe, right?
And my axe, and then if both of those fail me, I have my nunchucks that I can pull
whip
out.
out.
Yeah. So I'll be set.
He always claimed he could whip a bear up in Alaska, but he never really did get around to trying it.
Well, I don't know. No, I don't think. Of course, I don't think. But I have had friends. I know 2 friends of mine growing up in high school who both survived bear attacks and were able to either scare off or probably not hurt, but one of them punched it in the face and the bear got away. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
One kid, gosh, I think he played for for Barrow, and he was a black kid, and so you could really see the scarring showed like so crazy, but he was clawed by a polar bear. Jeez. And you could see like the claw marks down his back and stuff. It was insane, like really crazy.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, they call Alaska the last frontier, and it really is.
It is, right? Yeah.
It's when I went up there in 89 and stayed in 90, Ninilchik had about 750 people that lived there full time. And about probably more than half of them didn't have running water or electricity.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And it's funny to think now, like how much different Ninilchik is.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, when you compare it to, being here, being even in Oregon and stuff, it's still in the Stone Age, right?
Still the Wild West.
Yeah. Still different.
We still go on and look at, there's like the town talks that we've talked about. Yes. And the crazy stuff that goes on in comparison to like our Ring app or our neighborhood. We have like next door, you get to see kind of everything that's going on in the neighborhood and our neighborhood watch in comparison to what's on there to what's on like the Ninilchik one.
Yeah.
It is night and day.
Yeah.
The issues are entirely different.
Yeah. Our neighborhood app chat board or whatever is funny.
It's very funny.
Yeah, a lot of really weird things. Like there's a helicopter circling above. What, anyone know what that is? Or
and it's just a traffic helicopter.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. We want to get more like in depth of Austin Vanderford.
Okay, jeez.
Right?
Yeah, let's
Right?
do it.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you the most proud of in your son, Austin?
I think I'm the most proud of him for actually getting a degree from college.
Really?
But I'm extremely proud of his successes in his chosen career. Yeah, I never really. He always talked when he was younger about becoming a professional athlete, and of course, okay, great.
Yeah.
But not many people make it, and he did. So I'm proud of him for that also.
Yeah, coming from small little Nidilchik, right? Yeah.
Yeah, his graduating class was 14 kids,
Yeah.
and it was the biggest graduating class that Nidilchik School had in years.
Yeah.
The whole student body K through 12 was 172 kids at that time.
Yeah. So small. I beat some odds out, it's yeah.
He did. It's pretty amazing.
Became successful. Okay. Wait, hold on. I had it typed out.
Okay.
I got to go back to my list. Okay. What is your favorite, or like, what is the fondest memory you have with Austin when he was a kid?
The fondest memory I had when he was a kid.
I mean, I've heard some stories about you dressing up as your sister so she could take the fall for you one time.
That was at my mom's house.
Okay. I've heard some pretty funny stories.
I don't know. I think we had some good trips. I mean, you maybe missed 1-2 of my athletic events growing up. I mean,
I missed one.
Yeah, my dad definitely, did whatever he had to do to go with me on trips and to be there because, he had a good time watching, I would imagine. And he always volunteered to help coach and drive all of us kids and teammates and stuff. And so we had a lot of fun.
I guess maybe my fondest memories were, taking the wrestling trips.
Yeah.
And then, well, I gotta tell the football story.
Okay, I'm interested. I don't know what this is.
So the kid's must have been 12 years old, and he was playing Pop Warner football.
Yeah.
So we were up in Anchorage and getting close to, maybe being a championship team. And Austin was a fairly good player.
Actually,
come on. He was one of the best on the team. So we're getting out there, and we got the ball, and we're down on like the 10-yard line, pushing for a touchdown, which would have won the game. So Austin was a running back at the time, and he's got the ball, and he's going for the end zone. He gets tackled and goes down, gets up, kind of sniveling and holding his arm and stuff like that.
Every story is me crying. Okay.
And I'm yelling at him. I said, "You're fine. Get back in there." And turns out he'd broken his arm. I saw the video afterwards, and you could actually hear the audible snap of his arm when it broke. I felt pretty bad about that.
Well,
Yeah, you
that's
called me a
okay.
pussy. Too.
Well,
I did call him a pussy.
I broke my arm in half in a fight, and you did not believe me.
And so it happened to me. That's why, because he had did that to me.
So it's his fault.
He called me a pussy and said, "Get back in the game.
Get back in there and finish it up."
Yeah, and win the game."
You called me a pussy when I broke my arm at the gym.
Did I call you a pussy?
No, you didn't.
Okay. I was thinking maybe I did, but
No, but you did get mad at me because I wanted to go get my arm x-rayed, and you were like, no, you were cutting weight.
Yes.
And you just really wanted to go home and eat, and you didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I feel
Well-
kind of bad.
And talking about cutting weight, he was a miserable little son of a bitch. Probably still is when he's cutting weight.
It's not ideal, I will say that.
I would say that Who's the worst? Yeah.
No, we've talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
The times you have snapped at me
Is cutting weight.
and where you were, I believe you were out of line is when
Yes.
you were cutting weight.
Yeah. But who's the more miserable person to be around, you or I?
You.
No, you.
Because you don't appreciate food the way I do. I
Yeah, that's
appreciate
true.
I love food.
Yeah.
I will say when it gets down to the nitty gritty, the last few pounds, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's the whole few weeks prior
Yeah, I agree. I
that
think.
I'm depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
But-
I'm used to him.
But in reality, though, I was cutting more weight or a higher percentage of my body weight than
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, for whatever reason, I can still never figure it out. I mean, he got me into wrestling at 6 or whatever. He still does not grasp the concept of me cutting weight and to leave me alone and not pick on me. He still likes to pick on me when I'm cutting weight. And
Because
then
it's fun.
yes, and then he wonders why the reaction's back from
Well,
me.
you
But
kind of deserve it.
maybe a little.
A little bit.
Yeah, I probably bring it on myself a little bit, but
And I can pick on him. So
yeah.
All right. Who is a better kid or who would you rather live with as an adult? Austin or Natalie?
Oh shit. Oh
I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Because you have one
yeah.
sister, Natalie, who
yes.
lives in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the real question is, would you rather live in Alaska again or Florida?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be a snowbird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
us
one
too.
kind of do?
Split my time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Us too. Yeah. Yeah. We have our dogs, Jackie and Dennis, are pretty fond of my dad, but my sister's got the kids and,
Yes,
and
the grandkids.
yeah.
Yeah.
The,
I like the dogs, but
I was just going to say, though, I don't know which ones he likes better. He's a big dog guy.
I'm kidding, Natalie, if you're watching this.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
Well, this is your chance to. You have your dad in the hot seat. Dive deep. Ask him some
Yeah.
intimate questions.
No, I think we've, I think I've been pretty nice.
You've been well behaved.
Yeah. You can blame him for the cards because he got me into card collecting as a kid.
So that's who I should be mad at.
Yes, yeah, you
Yeah.
should be.
You
mad
did
at
say
him.
we're going from here to the card shop.
Might have to go swing by the card shop.
Might have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, but it's fun, especially being here in Florida and having our family come and try to get him out every couple months or so, and he likes to lay outside like a iguana and soak up all the sun.
Suntan.
So yeah, yeah,
Although actually it's been hotter in Oregon than it has been down here lately.
yes, that is true. But at least you have a pool here. You can, although the pool is kind of hot right now too. Did you get in it yet?
Not yet, but I'm gonna. I was gonna, but you told me I couldn't let the dogs out, so I went out there.
He didn't
And
trust you to keep an
I'm-
eye on him.
I'm sitting by the pool, and Jackie's in one window, crying and barking, and Dennis is in the other window, just looking mournful. So I had to come back in the house.
Yeah. Well, this was.
Are you ending it?
Yeah, I was gonna end it.
Gosh, you really want football cards.
Well, I was also kind of hungry.
Okay.
You're not gonna torture me or put me through any.
No, I was gonna maybe take like a swig of whiskey with you or do something.
We
but
could do that.
You want to do that?
You guys want one right now?
I don't know. Could you handle a little bit of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Juan, you want to reach behind you and just pick one out and we'll do a cheers and
Do
we'll
a cheers and then we'll close out.
We'll close it.
Yeah.
No, dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice in the bar.
Whatever you choose, you're gonna have to have one too.
Yeah, we'll do a little whiskey swig and then we'll go jump in the pool.
Okay.
Yes.
Get some lunch.
Well, I have what?
Perfect.
So you have your
Yeah, that's perfect.
dad's the one that got you into your first tattoo.
Yes.
Now, do you like the look he has now with all of these tattoos?
Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I've got a couple myself.
Yeah.
No, I do. I think he needs to get a good back tattoo, though.
Yeah.
Yes, like what oh, sweet. Thank you, Juan. Yeah, kind of what Paige's got a cool back tattoo.
Yeah,
I
she
do.
does.
Yeah.
Which I do need to get back into Ami and get that finished.
Yeah, you do.
He's
for sure.
back in town now.
And that's good because I like her better than I like you.
Yes. Yeah, which I think most people like her a little better than.
No, well, that's because they don't know that I'm the crazy one.
Oh, I know that. That's why I like you.
Yeah. All right, we're drinking 4 Roses small batch. Yeah. All right. Cheers, Dad. Thanks for coming on and being here.
Yep.
And
Kick-Ass Love Story.
Kick-Ass Love Story.
Destrovia.
Dystrovia.
Come back every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Anywhere you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube, OFTV, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio. Oh, yes. And we were doing a thank you for 500,000 followers. So I will have the winners in the comment section. So check the comment section. I'll have pinned everybody who won. We're picking 10 people who is a current subscriber, and you are going to get a autograph of me doing power slap with my hand painted. So it's going to be a hand autograph, and they're going to be numbered 1 through 12. We've already given away 2.
Yeah.
But so you'll get one that's either 1 of 12, 2 of 12 for 12 gauge. So those will be exclusive. I won't be doing any more of that set. So yeah, check the comments for you subscribers and tune in next week.
We're out.
We're out.
Okay.